one second, guys. I gotta plug my web camera back in. Been playing too much Black Flag. Okay. Well, I think everything is good. Everything looked good. Everything sound good. I know it's been, unfortunately, far too long since our last stream. I do apologize. You know, turns out life can get really busy. Really busy. Seemingly out of nowhere at times, right? But anyway, welcome back to our Friday night live stream. So tonight we've got a couple of things to look at. Of course, we have the Fontator import. As you guys who saw today's video should be very well aware. This thing's pretty busted. I mean, you have 16 of Marco Polo's 16-inch guns. And I mean, that should be pretty self-explanatory as to why that's pretty cracked, right? And the armor is actually like really good. If you go watch today's video, I got 420 millimeter belt armor. 420 millimeters of belt armor. My God. Yeah, if you watch today's video, there was a main just molding that he could not citadel me, even though I was pretty much showing him broadside the entire time, which is pretty impressive, right? Especially to something like a main. And the Star Trek event showed back up. Okay, that's copyrighted. How do I turn that off? There we go. Alright. So the Star Trek crossover is back, but unfortunately the event itself isn't back, the mode's not back. But you can buy, you know, the captains and the camos and such. Dang. See, like, I really like the Salem camo, but I just don't have the money to buy the Voyager camo for Salem. I really like Star Trek Voyager. It's kind of one of the goofier Star Treks, but I do like it. I do like it. I do have the Enterprise camo for Enterprise. And there you go. If you want to get all the commanders and all the camos, there. The voice acting's kind of like Picard's okay. The Spock one's really good. They did get the voice actress for Sayla to come back for hers. What does Janeway sound like? That does not sound like Janeway. Oh my God. Well, let me turn that up. Let me turn the music down. Let me turn the desktop volume up. So be prepared. It's going to be a little bit louder than it just was. It's cranked down by 20 decibels. Now it's going to be full power. But yeah, listen to Janeway.
Dismissed.
She does not. That does not sound like Catherine Mulgrew.
And I'll destroy Voyager. Good work, everyone.
Nope.
Good work, everyone.
Yeah, that ain't it.
Anybody's got any other ideas, I'm listening. I want all tactical data regarding your little war.
Yeah, no, I mean, those are lines she says in the show, but that does not sound like her. Okay, this is all of them here. Okay, here we go. So, Spock.
Your efforts are acknowledged with gratitude.
That sounds good. That sounds really good. I don't know, like, Spock sounds like they almost ripped some of his lines from the shows and movies.
All units are instructed to disengage and retreat.
I don't know if they just got a really good impersonator or what there, but Spock sounds great.
I express my appreciation for your assistance.
No, it's not Catherine Mulgrew. I mean, no, that's not her. I watched a lot of Voyager. I know what she sounds like. Let's see, Picard.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no further.
See, like a little bit too nasally, but like it sounds enough like Picard. Obviously, they can't afford Patrick Stewart, right?
Impossible. You're damned right.
Yeah, it's like a little bit too high, a little bit too nasally, but that's close enough. Sayla, it's the voice actress, well, the actress.
We need smoke to hide.
Yeah, that's her. So that's spot on. Yeah, the Klingon one too sounds good. Gowron.
Unleash your wrath upon their flying machines.
Yeah, that sounds like Gowron.
Set a smoke screen.
Yeah. I remember Riker.
Go ahead.
Oh.
In your position, it's important to ask yourself one question. What would Picard do? We need cover. Activate sensor jamming.
No.
Mr. O'Brien, verify that these are the accurate coordinates.
That, like, the cadence is right for Riker, but the voice isn't right.
Glad to have you with us.
Borg Queen.
We are Borg. Coordinate fire to suppress strike vessels.
That's close. No, it's not AI. It's actual voice actors, but
Unworthy of assimilation.
that's like a 6 out of 10. That one's okay. Worf.
Provide a sensor jamming screen.
Okay, that one sounded all right.
You fought with honor. That is the Klingon way.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. That's passable as a Worf.
I am grateful. Direct fire to enemy strike craft. This battle was fought with honor.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, it's a little off, but it's better. It's better than frickin' Riker's.
This is William T. Riker. We need
No, it's
assistance.
not. That's not Riker. Oh my god. All right, but yeah, no, these guys are back if you're interested in that. I mean, I'm a big Star Trek nerd. Next Generation was what I got started on. I literally, for my birthday this year, bought the Lego Enterprise D. Because I wanted it when it came out, but it's retiring in December, and typically, like a few months before a set retires, you can't find it anywhere in stock. So yeah, the Star Trek crossover event, one that I do actually like. I do wish, again, that the mode came back for it. That would be really sweet. All right, so we're going to start in the sinker, and I guess just go from there. This thing is pretty cracked. I'm probably not going to play it too much after this stream because it is that broken. I think it's kind of evil to play it. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me show you all the minifigures. The minifigures with the Enterprise are really good. They come with like this little nice little display stand for them, and there's a lot of cool neat little hair pieces and stuff. Like Worf's got his own unique hair piece. I think Troy's hair piece is unique too. You got Spot there to go with Data, and you actually build like a trombone for Riker. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, Lego's expensive, so I don't get too many big sets anymore, but I definitely wanted to get this before it dipped out forever. Yeah, I've shown it off a couple of times on the channel. You can, I think, literally the update notes video, I showed it again. But yeah, no, it looks really good. You know, I'm surprised they managed to make a giant oval look as good as they did with Lego bricks, right? There's not that many curved pieces at all in the whole build. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, Lego just ain't cheap. All this you see in the background, you know, this is literally you know, my childhood's worth of Lego. You know, I didn't just go buy this in the last year. There's more up top too. And I have a case off to my left here that's not on camera full as well. And I still have more. But, you know, like, you know, when I was putting all this up, I was like, oh, you know what? I like Lego. You know, I do actually like Lego, you know? So, oh, is Hago here? Is he on the other side? Ah. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's, you know, let's go get some, like, modern Lego sets. And oh my god, like, for, like, a little, like, the battle packs are, like, $25 now. Some of them were, like, $30, which is insane. For, like, a single Jedi Starfighter, like, Ahsoka's Jedi Starfighter, which I got on clearance, thankfully. It was only, like, $20. But, like, regularly, apparently, it was, like, $35. I'm like, what? And, like, there's a MIDI-scale Venator, which is, you know, I have the playset Venator right back there. But one that's, like, you know, not full size, not the UCS one, was, like, $80. Like, what? That's wild how much it costs nowadays. So, yeah. I'm probably going to get, Jango Fett Slave 1. They came out with a UCS Slave 1. I'm probably going to get that. For Christmas. That's only like $300. I know it's like it's kind of crazy going, oh, that's only $300, but I mean, like, for like a UCS set in today's Lego market, that's really not that bad. And you know, like the UCS sets, you know, they're very much worth it. They're huge, details insane. Like the play sets being like $150 on the regular for like a larger set is wild. All right, sap out on the GK. Only got one shell hit, unfortunately. I was playing with Lego in my teens 4 decades ago. Helped that my parents gave out to a young cousin without asking me. See, I just got headshot as a child because the prequels were coming out, and that's when Lego first got, you know, the Star Wars license, and they were releasing, you know, all those, you know, Star Wars sets and stuff. And it didn't help too that, like, I went over to a friend's house and they had Lego, the Lego Star Wars game, and that game was so friggin' good. Still is. So, you know, oh my god, this GK is about to lose a third of his HP if I aim that somewhat right. Yep, there we go, 15k. He ran out a third. I sent 5 into his belt. If I aimed a little bit higher, that would have been like a 30k hit. How's it comparable to main and Satsuma? Well, you don't have to aim all that well. I mean, look, that was a pretty bad shot on that GK, and I still got 15k off of him with a single salvo. And now that he's perfectly broadside, I'm going to send a bunch of sap into his superstructure here and murder him. I like Lego Indiana Jones. Yes, I played that game too. And I actually do have a bunch of Lego Indiana Jones sets. Like, most of the 2000, and there we look at 20k, easy peasy. Most of the, like, I think it was like the 2008 wave that came out when Crystal Skull was announced. Like, I literally have right here the Flying Wing from Raiders of the Lost Ark. I have the Totally Not DC-3 airplane from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I've got the Jungle Chopper thing. I've got the truck pursuit from Raiders of the Lost Ark. I got the card chase from the opening of Temple of Doom. And I actually do have the opening scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know what it's called. That one's currently kind of in pieces and broken up. I'm actually working on putting it back together. I'm working on getting all the pieces over from my my parents' house over here, and you can actually go online. You can download the old instruction manuals and put them together like that. So that's currently what I'm doing. I'm currently trying to gather all the pieces, and then we are going to attempt to save it from the bin. So, yeah, that's currently what I'm doing. But yeah, I got a lot of Lego sets. I do actually have some, like, rare figures and stuff. That, obviously, you know, friggin' 12-year-old Sealord wasn't like, oh, this is going to be a rare set, a rare figure in, you know, 20 years. But I do have quite a couple of rare ones, surprisingly so, that have survived intact and in good shape. But yeah, it sucks, you know, trying to get back into it and just seeing how expensive they all are. Like, ugh. Hey, this is Des Moines around here. We're gonna go walk up to him. Oops, sorry. We're gonna go walk up to him and say hi. Come on, game. There we go. So the Afantador is also kind of close. Yeah, we can't just keep chilling behind the island. Hello, Des Moines. Oh, he's dead. Yep. Yep, that was easy. Easy kill for the Afantador. I'd argue that Spock also sounds like Spock, and Worf is pretty okay. Again, I don't expect to be able to go, you know, hire Patrick Stewart, but some of them it's like, ooh, that's the best you can do, you know? I didn't find Vader's voice in the first EA Battlefront game that bad. In the second one, I didn't think it was, like, questionable at all. I thought it was pretty good. You know, I'm sure it would have been better in Battlefront 3, but, you know, Battlefront cursed. It's going to be impossible for them to ever count that franchise to 3. Oh, what? Only 5K? Really? Really, game? Really? Boys, it's at 22K. You can come out and shoot it. Okay, maybe not you, Missouri. Okay, maybe not you, Colbert, either. IP, fascinating. He's gonna try to knock out my turrets. Yep. We're gonna go for a bold maneuver here. And superstructure must be... Well, that's the other thing, too. This thing doesn't have a superstructure in comparison to everything else. Like, look, you have the conning tower and a smokestack, that's it. So, oddly enough, it's, you know, surprisingly well armored against sap. Okay, that bought us a little bit of time. Wish I had my combat instructions so I could skedaddle into the cap. I'll put that out because I'm gonna, when I go to the cap, I'm gonna pop smoke and try to cap it. Gotta do it. Need the kill. But the Sicilia's gonna go down too, yeah. Hi, Smollett. You are very close to me. I don't even know if I have time for my guns to reload. I don't. He's probably gonna go down here too, yeah, from that Vermont salvo. Nope. Okay. Dang. All right, we didn't get really to show out how good the ship is because the match was terrible. I did a whop. Oh, I just lost so much money on that game. 62,000 damage. Yep. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah. Lost 61,000 credits. I use Riker for every ship. I'm sorry you have to listen to that on every ship. Battlefront's just like Half-Life. Well, the thing is, we have gotten, what? Technically 5 or 6 Battlefront games. Because you have the original Battlefront, and then you had Battlefront 2, and then you had, what, like, I think 2, like, PSP games / Nintendo DS games. Maybe even 3. And then, of course, you had, you know, the Battlefront reboot, and then the Battlefront 2 reboot. So I think technically, yeah, it's like 6 or 8 games. Yeah, the ship is really crazy, Empyrean. We're attempting to show that off tonight. Oh, we got Okinawa again. But last game was Raffle Stomp. And then I came up against the Afantador, the enemy Afantador, and, you know, ironically, the ship is really well armored against SAP, because, as you notice, what superstructure is there? Like, there isn't any. Conning tower, smokestack. That's it. That's all you got. See the bug that the Calvi has right now? Homing doesn't home, and no launching torpedoes at depth. I have not seen that. That's a fascinating bug. How do you break the homing torpedoes on a submarine? That's okay. Like, some things, when they break, it's like, okay, they adjusted X, so I see why Y, you know, got a little broken. But then it's like, okay, why when they adjusted 1, it did Z break, you know? Like, what the heck? Hopefully they don't figure out how to fix it. Spoken like a true sub-hater. And it's only the Calvi. Okay. There's shell traps under the turret behind the funnel. I mean, yeah. That's pretty flat. So I guess you could say, you know, like, this here is sure. But, I mean, again, the trade-off is you barely have a superstructure. So, I mean, like, that's not the worst trade-off, in my opinion. Plus, again, the rest of the armor on the ship is so absurd, you know? Nemesis the same way that pushing a button makes your guns reload twice as fast. You know? Alright, that was at a main from 18 kilometers away. Two hits for 9k. 2 shells hit for 9k, boys. Oh, this is even better. If I can, nah, he's gonna hug that island pretty good. Oh, Wooster. You are lucky there's an island right there. Alright, that was a bit of a laggy shot. Laggy blind shot. That looks okay. Yeah, 12k. That was 3 shells hit 12k. Look at that. Well, 3 shells pinned, 2 went into his forward turrets. So we have yet to get, you know, a actual solid hit with the main battery guns where over half of them have connected, and we've done, what, almost 10k and then 12k already. So yeah, 21k from 8 shells actually hitting, and again, a couple of those didn't actually even pin. Alright, let's see. 13 kilometers away, the dispersion should be starting to get better, and it is, and 23k, boys. 23k, easy. Nary a citadel in sight. Oh, Wooster, you beautiful man, you stay right there for 12 more seconds. Actually, I think I'm going to drift, yeah. If you got lucky, I'm going to drift behind this island. Actually, just keep sailing in a straight line. Hanover, please don't shoot him. We might also disintegrate the solution if he keeps being funny. Yeah, that main's going to go down. I do not know what this Wooster... Yep. Main got him. Alright. Lucian, do you want 16 sap shells to the face? You don't? Well, oh, if he survives these torps. This is a dead Lucian, methinks. Dang, almost. 8 shells hit. I don't know what their tactic is over here, but I would suggest changing. I know, right? You know, frickin' Vermont with its 40-second reload for 12 guns that don't even have sap. Like, what is this? Now, the Petro might be a little bit harder just because it's so skinny and because it actually has pretty good armor. But let's test this out. That was a pretty easy 9K on a Petro. Just realized my web camera is up too high. I look fairly decapitated. There we go. I mean, you don't care about armor. Outside of, you know, throwing your shells into turret faces, you don't care. Because you're going to pin whatever. You're going to pin something. You know, with the 16 shells being flung at the enemy ship. You know, something's going to hit, something's going to pin. Alright, we're going to hit this. So, the combat instructions are pretty tame compared to the rest of the ship. You get a 10% boost to your top speed, and a 10% boost to the cooldown time of your consumables. I'm just using it just to get around this corner faster because, you know, we pretty much won this flank, and all the action is going to be down south, so we want to get down south as fast as possible. What did I hit? What did I hit? Like, literally, what did I hit? I didn't get I'm gonna yoink this man's kill. I didn't get a terrain warning. Oh no, he got it. Salem, yeah. Didn't get a terrain warning, didn't hit a ship. My ship just suddenly I don't know, is there a coral reef right there? Need more of that Hawaiian shirt? Yeah. So my wife bought me this. She went to Walmart and apparently all the Mandalorian Grogu stuff is on sale because the movie didn't do that well. And she was like, "Oh, he wears these on his stream. I'll get him one." You know, I think this was like $5 or something like that. Which for something with the word Star Wars printed on it is pretty cheap, you know. You killed a whale. That's what you hit. Yeah, I just ran over Shamu or something like that. Boing. Well, dang, I need a team that stays alive. So I can show you guys how great these guns are. But the enemy team's not doing that for some reason. Odd, same map. Just this time, you know, it's the enemy team that doesn't stay alive. A little bit closer in on the action. What are you doing with your Schlieffen lug? Are you just running in there? Because you can't just run in there. You have to be smart, take your time, see where the enemy team's going. Like, I know you want to get the secondaries in on the action, as I very much do when I play my Schlieffen, but if you just run in right away, you are going to die. So you have to be a little patient, you know, give the enemy team time to fan out, and you want to look for those targets that are, you know, kind of lonely. You know, maybe there's only 1 or 2 ships over there. Then you can, you know, kind of turbo push that with your Schlieffen, but you can't just W key in right out the gate. That's a recipe for disaster. Alright, we have Patry. Oh, it's Plague in this Patry. This is French armor, so there should be pretty much profit here. Yup. Yeah, don't sail in a straight line. You have hydroacoustic search. Don't be afraid to use it. Actually, might just outright kill him here. Yep. Oh, 4K! Oh, man. Someone's shells got there just before mine did. Probably the Hanovers. Oh, there's beautiful. This Hanover is coming back toward us. Oh, Hanover's pushes funny button. Sap is out. There we go, 14K. Suddenly, the enemy team figured out how to sink my team. No, it genuinely is pretty crazy. I've just had two, unfortunately, not overly great teams to go up against. Alright, so he's going to be going down either to myself or the Maine or the Hanover on my flank. I mean, if you watch today's video, I have some better examples of this ship doing really stupid things. Use our combat instructions yet again. It's a 10% boost to speed and a 10% buff, yeah, to the cooldown time of your consumables. So their Afantador is still up. So is their Minotaur. And we really need to get in the cap. Alright, Hindenburg's going to get in the cap here. Yeah, but I'm assuming they're either their Afantador or is that their Minotaur? Yeah, Minotaur is in the A cap. That could be the Elbing too. How many shells are that? Oh yeah, that's the Elbing. That's not the Minotaur. I think you'd have an easier time farming credits in randoms because there's more ships, more damage you can do, and it's probably gonna be more consistent because you don't have to, of course, deal with the sweatiness of ranked. We are going to lose because we don't have any destroyers left. Oh, hello, Minotaur. come on, turrets. Oh, please. 7 hits for, yeah, look at that, 20k. That was like 23k damage. Yeah, yeah, dang. That is why destroyers are so important, boys. Let's see. Yeah, 20k to the pot tree and like 2 salvos. 27k. 1 salvo to the Minotaur, boys. 27k. No citadels. No citadels. I shot at this man 1 time. Did 30k damage to him, just about. Again, no citadels. We got no citadels this game. That's absurd. Normally, of course, you have to citadel the Minotaur to do that type of damage to it. But yeah. We'll give it one more chance. Did I lose money this round? Okay, I made money this round. I'm running the blue economic bonuses, by the way. Can we not get Okinawa? If we get Okinawa 3 times in a row, that's... Watch. It's going to pop up Okinawa. Random battles. Standard battle. Or not standard battle. Domination. And we'll try out the brawls after this. Okay, Atlantic. Lost 47,000 credits that round with the 2nd efficiency badge. Don't you love it? Okay, it actually spawned me on like the good side for the Affrontador too. Let's see if half the team dies in the opening 5 minutes. Or half of one of the teams die in the opening 5 minutes. The man's laughing at 4 super ships. He apparently hasn't been playing much recently. I have a Smalling and a Salem on my side. Lots of radar coverage on this side. Yeah, I have 1 billion credits, so I don't remember how many credits I had to give up. I gave them the max amount of credits you could give up for the Affrontador, and I didn't even notice losing them. So that's yeah, that's how many credits I have. I'm just running the blue economic bonus because I have thousands of them, and no, I have like a couple hundred of the blue ones, but you know, I just don't want to be constantly losing credits. But pretty much, if you want to, you know, make sure you are like making money while playing super ships, you have to run blue economic bonuses, or have a really, really good game. Okay, Hanover. So I don't get spotted over here. How do you have that many credits? Well, I know how the economy works. I know how to game it. And, I mean, when you know, not half, but a good chunk of, you know, doing World Warships YouTube is playing and reviewing premium ships. And premium ships have premium economies, so, yeah. And all the Techline ships that I do enjoy playing, like a lot, I buy the premium package for them. And plus, I don't think I've been a day without premium time since like a year into playing this game. So, that too. Yeah, that's the other thing. I still have like several thousand of each of the green economic bonuses. And I gave up like 150 from each group to get it. So I didn't touch my coal. Ooh, Yoshino. Didn't touch my coal. Oh, and like Elite Commander XP. I have a bunch of that. Well, I had a bunch of that. I used that too. Ooh, there are more torpedoes. Okay, that's fine. 1 torp's not going to hurt that much. Hello, Yoshino. Good 30k! 30k out the gate to the Yoshino. Not a Citadel. Not a Citadel in sight. Hi, Main. Hi, Darth. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Broadside to a main, 8k. That's it. I don't know if they're stream sniping. They're definitely in the clan's Discord giggling to themselves right now, trying to sync drop with me. Yeah, and that was just another, what, 10k to the Yoshino? But that is wild. Broadside to a main, like, with the American AP, and it just genuinely does not care. Like, what? 2,700. Yes, this is a North American server. I think the gearing might be about to creep up on me. I think this is like a 50s design, so automation would be obviously higher than like, 30s or, early 40s. Ooh, Moskva. I don't know. It's a fake ship, It's a paper ship, so I do not know. It's big, so I think like, 3,000, 4,000. I think your ballpark estimates aren't too far off, because what the Iowas were like, what, 3,000 as they were designed, and like later on with modifications it was like 2,000 and change, right? Or something like that? Or was it like 2,000 and it went down like 1,700? I don't recall off the top of my head. I haven't watched that video from Ryan in a minute. This might be bad because I'm turning hard over. Nope. That is wild. I don't think you guys understand how crazy this armor is. I was in a hard turn. Ship was turned hard over, which means the Citadel should have been more exposed, or the weaker armor should have been exposed. He shoots me, nothing. No sits. The 14k to the Moskva. Oh, gearing, little bro's at like 300 HP. So I guess we're just gonna go walk up to the Moskva. What's he gonna do? Shoot us? Oh, buddy, what are you doing, bud? Yep, 18K. Shunk is pretty good because it's Mosfa's AP, but I mean, nothing crazy. Mason walking up with a steel chair and beating him in the head with it. Alright. Again, combat instructions doing its thing. Well, chat is split up between YouTube chat and Twitch chat. So you got half the audience watching on YouTube, half the audience watching on Twitch. So that's why, you know, the chat activity may not be that great. Just want people to be able to watch from wherever they feel comfortable. Because I know some people hate the Twitch ads, some people hate the YouTube ads. So whatever your, you know, whatever your pick, you can enjoy it. Yeah, Savage, this thing was actually supposed to be a secondary ship, which didn't really make much sense because none of the other tech line Italian battleships were secondary ships. So, yeah, they just baited a really big combo. GK, but with these turrets, like with SAP and everything, or like what are we talking about? Yes. 25K! 25K at maximum range, garbage dispersion, just 25K to the main. Angled too. Bro was angled. Doesn't matter. What are you gonna do? Doesn't matter what you do. The velocity's also like really good, isn't it? It's like 800? 836 meters a second. Yeah, so aiming's easy. Oh my god, this Republic. Yep, 20K. I bet his superstructure's already saturated as hell too. Let's see. He's shooting at me. 6,500. Okay. There we go. Now we have a longer firing range because we got a kill now. Sansonetti. And here comes the Annapolis. I mean, it does handle god-awful because it's such a big ship. 4,400 damage. Oh, good hit of that Annapolis, whoever the heck that was. Oh, yep, there we go. We need better British ships for real, not for $150. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think that's going to be a reality. Looks like our main's going to go down, maybe. Yeah, I think that round showed the stupidness, how stupid this ship is. I mean, that was just dumb. 187,000 damage, only a 3rd grade game. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 58k to the old Moscow, 28k to the Republic, and 2 salvos. Half of this, over half of this to Plague's main, was when he was angled at 18 kilometers, where this thing isn't supposed to have good accuracy, right? Or the dispersion, I should say, is supposed to be not great. I removed 25k from an angled super ship with the sap. And then, of course, Yoshino. None of these were Citadels either, so. Yep. Yeah, the ship's pretty dumb. And of course, in return, Plague could only scratch my paint. So yeah, ship's pretty stupid. I would still definitely wait for it to come out and for normal, because it's dumb, but like it can be dumb for free, you know. I mean, technically it's free because you are just giving up resources for it, but I would save that for the New Jersey. Alright, tier 9 ranked. I heard it's bumper boats, right? Sorry, tier 9 brawls. I mean, again, like, this ship doesn't cost anything. It's just credits, coal, economic bonuses, or elite commander XP. So, I mean, you're still getting it for free if you have an excess of those resources, but I wouldn't waste them on it. Oh, there you go. Plague wasn't fully stream sniping. That was pretty dumb that, like, I was broadside to you a few times and you got literally nothing off of me. That's pretty stupid. Alright, so what, ships are like fast as hell, right? And 150% buff to your top speed, 200% main battery traverse speed. Oh boy. Oh boy. This should be good. Dang! Dang! 67, 68, 69. Boing. Look at this thing turn! Holy! Oh, this looks like when you just smash fast forward on a replay. That's what this looks like right now. Oh my god, this is so weird. Everything is so sped up. Oh, this is so weird. Oh my god, the camera can't even keep up. This is beyond goofy. Oh my god. I don't think these have any chance of hitting, but they're out. Nope, they're way too slow. This is literally just Tokyo Drift and it's beautiful. Oh my god. I am not giving these ships anywhere near enough lead. Come here, Siegfried. Look at him go. Look at him go. What's a really fast ship we can play in this? Just to see how stupid this can get. Oh my god, Georgia. Georgia with speed boost. Holy. Oh yeah, Paulo Emilio would also be stupid. We might try Paulo next. There we go. Alright, that's pretty fun. That's incredibly dumb, but I love it. You might get me here at the end. Yep. It's a consolation prize. I mean, yeah, destroyers are allowed, are they not? Alright, we'll try Paulo. See how really stupid this can get. Oh yeah, no, it is incredibly stupid. Apollo does not work. You rush in, torp once, and die. Sir, you just described the life cycle of Apollo. Like that. That's literally, that is your purpose in life. You run in, you torp something, and then you die. Oh my god, anything about the smoke screen. The exhaust smoke's going to look so stupid. And everyone using hydros, what are they going to do? Shoot me? I'm going to be moving at 150 knots. Can it really not keep up with the ship? Oh, this is going to be so dumb. This is going to be beautiful. The only problem is I have to wait for the torpedoes to reload. Paulo isn't really a destroyer, it's a mobile suicide torpedo bomber with smoke. So Paulo Emilio, all it is a delivery system for the torpedoes. That's all it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. 110, 120, oh my god. This is so beautiful. Look at how fast I'm going across the map. I just gotta do donuts until the torpedoes load, though. That's it. Like, I'm going to be able to literally, like, pull up from behind on these ships and just deliver these torpedoes there. Look at this. This is so stupid. Alright, that Awami's kind of, I think, by himself, and he's slower, I believe, than the Pomeran and such. So if we just get him by himself, I mean, yeah. This is so dumb. I love this. Oh my god. Wait till we hit the engine boost, too. I don't see how the secondary turrets keep up with this. I don't even know, like, from what distance I need to pop my exhaust smoke. I guess 7, because that's, you know, about when we're normally going to be spotted. Oh, what? It really can't keep up. It can't keep up, boys. The smoke cannot keep up with it. I thought you were joking. Wargaming, fix your game. Hello. I gotta be really close for these, so... Oh, you're not dead, huh? Okay, that's pretty stupid. Yeah, but the ships are also more maneuverable, so actually they can actually dodge the torpedoes. And yeah, Wami has good torpedo protection. Okay, that's pretty dumb. Let's try Georgia next. Yeah, when everyone can outrun you, I can see why, you know, Valparaiso probably doesn't do all that well. I might just take Paulo later just to hit the smoke and then boost at the same time and see what his top speed is. Man's name is Demented Apple Crisp. Good name. 3 Valparaisos. We're going to find out just how good or not good the Valparaisos are. I don't know. Napoli's whole thing is that, you know, it's more maneuverable than battleships, but now it's not. So... Oh, these Valparaisos are going to be stupidly maneuverable. Alright, so looks like we're going to go 90 knots base. How much of a speed boost is this? Is this 15%? Okay. This is going to be stupid. "90 knots, Georgia, boys." Alright, let's get to work. Here we go. How fast are we gonna go? I'm also really focusing on these valves. Oh my god. Yo! Boing. How do you even aim? Oh my god. Hey, don't be mad that your ship just isn't that maneuverable anymore and take it out on me. Use this Palmer and his armor. Palmer, I can't shoot through you. Ramming speed. We shall scuff his paint. Ah, we got flanked. Dude, like you have like half a second to fire if you're trying to ADS. So try the Georgia again. But it's just like you got that to aim when you're trying to do a drive-by. What are tier 9s? Is the Michelangelo tier 9? That's not that fast, is it? Well, Georgia has some really accurate guns for a tier 9. Try the Ruprecht. I got something to fan on in my office after this round because I'm starting to get a little melty in here. Yeah, it's so we had a tropical storm come down here, Bertha, as I'm sure most of you guys saw in the news. And yeah, it didn't make it any cooler. You know, all the clouds and crap that it showed up with. Yeah, it made it cooler for like a day, and it only brought it down from like, 90 to like 88 for a few hours. And then it's like, oh, back up to, 95 on average you go. Man, just nothing compares to the friggin' Paulo Emilio. Like all of my perception of speed has been skewed by that now. Man is trying to back up out of his situation. We're going to go bow into him, start into the Ismo so our Citadel doesn't get murdered, but that's alright because he just went down, so now we're going to go deal with the Ismo. Yeah, the only thing like Bertha really did is just, oh my god, look how, oh lord. I think Birthday Day is just going to make the humidity even higher with all the rain that she dropped. Hey, I thought maybe throwing on the brakes would work, but nope. All right, let me go pop my fan on real quick. All right. What do we think? What do we think? Victoria might be funny with the burst, actually. Let's try that. Ship that still hasn't returned to the game, by the way. I think she actually came... Well, I think she was in, like, a container. But, you know, she's not, like, back. What should we have the highest elite XP on? I mean, like, ship XP? We'll check when we leave. Probably either, like, Yami or GK, if I had to guess. Also don't know, because I do a lot of converting, like, when Research Bureau ships come out. You know? So, I'm not sure. Again, I will check for you. Yeah, Gears guns are decently accurate. I mean, I wouldn't call it, you know, like, laser accurate by any stretch of the imagination, but they're pretty accurate. Especially for, you know, like, German guns. Yeah. 1.76 seconds gap in between the burst. Should be enough to bully some broadside Valparaisos, hopefully, right? And my plan is to just kind of drive up next to him and pop him in the side. And that way it's kind of hard to miss. Come here, boy. Nope, he's turning out. Can't keep running. The map borders that way. How much XP GP1 has on Menno? All of it. He has all of the XP. Alright, let's see if my plan works. Yeah, boy. Yeah. How's the summer treating you? Like an abusive ex because she's about to leave me. Yet again. Shows back up around May every year, then leaves a couple months later. Okay. There's another Valparaiso. I mean, Artie should be able to deal with this loan of gear, I like to think. So we're going to go take the A cap and the B cap. See if we can get this a gear down. Oh, okay. Oh. Ooh, Jason, I would have to say between secondary... First off, thank you for the $5 super chat. Between secondary and missiles, I'd say it's going to be a secondary ship. Perhaps with manual secondaries. Boy! Alright. I got him for you, Valp. Surely you can take in a gear. Please. Please tell me you can take in a gear. Yes! Yes! Alright, Victoria is the Valparaiso murderer. I think you can. Like, there's 0 point of trying to ADS from, like, under 10 kilometers in this range, because you are not getting any type of usable aimage out of that. All right. Oh my god, that was pretty fun. What else would be dumb here? Oh man, Tsurugi. This thing goes 35 knots without engine boost, right? Let's see what this thing does. I don't know. It's got like no armor, but it's got the deep water torpedoes and it's fast. Yeah, because they just don't have, you know, the setup for missiles yet. Now, if you told me New Jersey was coming end of next year, I would be like, oh, that sounds like maybe missiles. And the fact that Legends is running that modern combat event, that's also like, yeah, so maybe like end of next year, beginning of 2028, maybe they're thinking about bringing in missiles like full force, but once again, we'll see. But yeah, if it's being brought in right now, I would say secondary, because we have, you know, the Iowa, which is just the Iowa, you know, it's a good mid-range ship. We have the Missouri, which is Iowa with radar. We have the Wisconsin, which is Iowa, but better at longer ranges. The only Iowa we don't have is a secondary brawling type Iowa. Perhaps they take a page out like the Massachusetts book or something like that. We do now know that it is for sure going to be a tier 10. So, tier 10 secondary ship probably is what I would put money on at this point. Pulling 53 knots in a turn, boys. Oh, that's fast. That's like really fast, huh? Hey, we got we got the Mogador though. All right, we'll give this Tsurugi another run. Burst Fire Iowa, but the Wisconsin's already Burst Fire Iowa. You know, with the combat instructions, you get the reload boosters, so I don't think so, you know. And if we see again, like missiles, you would need a whole set of ships with the way the game currently works for missiles to really be a thing. Like you would need like tier 12, 13, and 14 basically, where it's these 3 tiers and they have missiles and only they can see each other. You can't see tier 10s, right? Because the Yamato has no anti-missile capabilities. It has no chaff, has no electronic warfare, definitely doesn't have any CWIS. So how's that going to work, But they are messing with the idea. They 100% are messing with the idea. So we'll see what happens. But no, again, if I had to put money down, it's going to be a secondary Iowa with some type of turbocharging to work in tier 10. Probably the manual secondary skill. That would be pretty big, right? For those American 5-inch guns with the good reload time, with the accuracy you can get with the manual secondary skill, that'd be pretty big. And maybe it may maintain, somewhat good main battery gun performance because you only have 9 16-inch guns at tier 10. And keep in mind too, they can just do New Jersey, 84 or 85 or whatever year she got refitted down the line if they really want to, right? So. Drives 3. I'm just gonna hit the torpedo reload boosters so we have them because they were not loaded in time last game. These are Asaccio torps, so like Heracles should take out any of these guys. Manual SAP secondaries, that's an idea. I can see him doing that. We'll show this Palmer what real torps are like. I swished, I fumbled those so hard. Okay, maybe he's outrunning the torps. Oh my god. Alright. Push him in. Yeah. Push him into the torps, Nord. Hee. Alright. Tsurugi, probably not the best one for this mode. That was funny though. We got a little bit of help there at the end. Alright, we're going to take a break from that. Go back to randoms for those that are just joining. We'll do a couple more rounds in the Aventadori, since it's the new shiny thing on the block. And of course, if you do just want to see a ship, let me know, and I'll hop in it. XOR, I think that's in like Lesta's client. That's not World of Warships. That might also be on like Blitz. Because Blitz has some pretty goofy things from what I recall. But yeah, no, I mean, again, they've been toying with the idea of missiles for a long time. I am surprised that Legends is just like, oh yeah, look, like Arleigh Burks, right? That's a pretty big jump. I would say, like tier 12 would be like those early 60 missile ships, which are basically, just normal ships with some missiles strapped to them. And then, like tier 13, maybe 70s going into some early 80s stuff. And then tier 14, like 80s and 90s missiles. And obviously you would go from there. I mean, I guess they could if they really wanted to, just be like, oh yeah, the New Jersey is our first missile boat. That would be insane because there's, literally no counter to it, right? Like, how do you counter a missile? Damage con? Again? I don't know. I mean, damage con can remove submarine homing. So I guess this feels so slow after playing those brawls. Can counter submarine pings, so maybe they can counter radar locks. I don't know, maybe. But I mean, yeah, who knows? So many counter submarine run for the hills. I don't know. Like I said in the video talking about the modern naval stuff, don't be surprised that if that event finds its way to the PC client next year, Ooh, an FDR. We have a Nakamov. Go Gadget Italian AA. I think he was just trying to bait the priority sector there. Yeah, we might see the Defiant or the Trump-class battleship, battle cruiser, whatever you want to call it, overgrown Zumwalt-class battleship. Yeah, the chaff, the CV drop chaff, yeah, that was quickly dropped, from my understanding. So I think it also blocked out like your damage con, which is wild because how important damage con is. You would even consider giving a another ship the ability to deny 21k to the Hanover, giving one ship the ability to simply deny the usage of damage con to another. So I am the chosen one for the FDR. Thankfully, I've received a blessing from the Nakamov, some more fighters. They were trying out the idea of experimental ships, from my understanding. They just, it was an event, they wanted to try it out, and they did. And we never heard anything from them since then. And they're just trying out new mechanics and such. That's, that's it. Oh, hello. And let's see. 30k to the Affrontadori. There's a gearing over here too, somewhere. Concerned because we don't have any, do we have? No, we don't have much in the way of destroyer support over here. Oh, I had him the first time. Alright. All of our surface ship friends are dead. We are now going to kite our way out of here. If useless, submarine ping is useless, which indeed it is. Petra's had to come out to play. Ooh, we have a stat shamer in chat, boys. Well, I dodged a lot of it. Yep. There's indeed only so much you can do. A stat shamer. So let's see. This is this the enemy affrontatore, however you say it. Said POV dumb dog pulled out the stats of I think the Nakamov. It has 51% win rate. That's pretty good. 62% win rate on the Nakamov. Says CV diffs, straight trash from the sewers crawling into my server. That was our Nakamov, huh? Yeah. Bro has a 62% win rate in his Nakamov. Got only over 16 battles, but I mean, like, alright. That's a lot of smack talk coming from someone playing, the most broken ship in the game right now. I mean, they had a div of FDR, Affrontatore, and the Archerfish, right? And they're like, oh, you only have a 51% win rate to the friggin' Nakamov. But alright. See, it's players like that when the stat sites died, you had people rejoicing. Like, oh no, there's no more stat shaming because of players like that. And like, dude had 51% win rate with with his account, which that's better than a lot of other players you're going to run into. The average win rate is like, friggin' 47, 48%, and dude's got a 51% win rate. That's not bad. So, oh my god, are you serious? Same div. He switched over to Dolphin though, so there you go. So we have an Archerfish and an Affrontatore. I don't know. I mean, like 48% is average, and you're like 4% above average. Not 4%. You're 3. No, yeah, you're 44%. Wait, yeah, no, 59, 60. Yeah, I gotta count on my fingers. That's fine. Yeah, so you're like above average, right? And he has a 62% win rate in the ship. Someone watches the podcast. Ba, 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 ba. So only 2 super ships this game, and we have 2 Fontadores. Yep. Yeah, those are gonna hit too. I have people give me shame, and I'm rock. Oh yeah, Dragon. The rocket closes at 56%. I know it's crazy. Like a lot of times when I see people, bust out other people's stats, it's because they have like a 38% win rate or like a 40% win rate. But like, yeah, that was. I think the first time I've seen someone bring up someone's stats goes over a 50% win rate, and I think a 62% win rate in the ship. Yeah, well, I mean, like, again, at that time, we didn't know much about the ship, right? I mean, we still don't know much about the ship other than, like, now it's confirmed it's a tier 10, and it's the tier 10 in the event. Oof. So again, we still don't know how it plays and all that jazz, or, like, what wargaming idea is for it, right? I think I have a little more luck than Plague did. Yeah, yeah, the early morning teams or something. Like in the summer, I'll hop on and you see some pretty interesting conversations in the morning, or some interesting teams too in the morning, I should say. About to get AP bombed. Yeah. But the Richtofen has done Richtofen things. Alright. We unfortunately need to start moving down south, because things are not going well over here. Super Unicum is the highest ranking that the World Warship stats site assigns to a player's stats. So basically means like you're really, really good at whatever you have that ranking in. Oh, come on. Oh, it's probably like one more seg that would have been beautiful. We have a Montana here to share A with this time. This thing is pretty tanky. If you rewind to, I think, like, the match... Last time I played this, like, before now, I was friggin' bouncing main broadside. Well, not bouncing main broadsides, but, like, a broadside from main to my side just did not seem to matter at all. Yep, Montana's done. I am next on the menu. Hi, CJB. How's it going? So I got one good hit this game on the cohort. Oh, look, Richtofen actually allowed him to get a citadel on me. Like this. Only bad thing is I'm running out of map. This is the annoying thing about submarines, you know, like, you're pretty much locked out from playing the game. Because you have to, you know, try and do something about the submarine that's tailing you. We got some splash damage. I didn't realize my heal was off cooldown. Oop. It's not going to matter with the smoke because he's just going to friggin' spam ping the middle section of my smoke to get me anyway. Well, see, like, I mean, like, I've been dealing with this sub and getting, like, you know, 1200, yep. 1200, you know, damage and splash damage. He's already pre-aiming for where I'm at. He's going to smoke up, clap me, and then that's going to be it, boys. I don't think he may one-tap me. Let's see if I can get him. I did not mean to do that. Alright, cool. Or age got him, but yeah, I'm going to go down to these torps here. Yep. See, like, that's the thing about subs. You just gotta, you know, if you're unlucky enough to be the one that the sub decides to go after, then, like, what are you gonna do? You gotta focus on trying to counter him and stay alive. Yeah, I thought about blind firing with sap, but like the thing's just so friggin' inaccurate. And so I'd be blind firing, getting, I mean, that's basically perma spotting. I guess I could have tried that. I don't know how well it would have worked. Yeah, this Jaguar guy is a real interesting character. See, and that's why I'm talking about, like, so, like, the sub was basically able to just sit there and ping me constantly with, no repercussions, right? I think, you know, if you're just constantly pinging someone over and over and over again, the ping indicator should be, more accurate. Like, it should get more accurate over time, rather than just being the same level of being like 2 or 3 kilometers off the entire time. Look, I did 37k in a super ship, and I'm still like halfway up the team, right? Yeah, I did 16,000 damage to the sub. Yeah, 16k. That's what half of his HP. So yeah. It just, you know, and that's the thing, you know, you sit there and you get harassed by a sub for the entire game. You get, like, I get 16,000 damage. Feels like you're walking away with nothing. The game does reward you for, like, the overall HP that you do to the enemy ship, though. I'm sorry. Let me reword that correctly. It rewards you for the overall damage you do versus the ship's HP. So, like, 16,000 damage on this is the same as 50,000 damage on, like, a GK, right? Someone asked, what's the ship that I have the highest amount of? Yeah. So right now, hold up. Oh, this isn't in order. So I have 863,000 XP on Smallland. Holy crap. 884,000 on Paulo Emilio. Let's see. 1.175 million on Masva. 1.3 on Odin. Oh my god. 2 million on Massachusetts. 3 million on Missouri. 6 million on Grosser Curvers, boys and girls. 3.9 on Yami. 3.1 on Stalingrad. 1.1 on Georgia. Yeah. So it looks like GK. GK's the winner. Speaking of GK, let's take GK out in the big 2026. Shoot, let me just go to the Germans. I'm not planning on cashing it in. I'm planning on farming a crap ton of free XP, which unfortunately, I just burned through a large portion of my free XP. Of course, getting the Spanish Dreadnought, right? So I'm basically starting over from zero. But yeah, so I'm planning on farming up a bunch of free XP to reset my Hergama line a zillion times for the Salvage Victory event for the New Jersey. I mean, as you can see, I'm pretty sure enough elite ship XP. Yeah, it is like elite ship XP, isn't it? When it's a tier 10 and it's tapped out. Whatever. I think enough of that to get the Research Bureau points I need to cash in for the New Jersey. But obviously, converting 80 million ship XP is a lot of money. So if we can avoid that, we would like to. Yeah, but Nemesis, I mean, like, again, it is a game at the end of the day, and, these ships do take way more damage than they would have in real life, right? And of course, you have repairs, right? You have damage continuously put out any fires or floods on your ship. So, when you try to argue in real life, 1/16-inch shell would have destroyed a destroyer or whatever, that doesn't really, I don't think that argument carries too much weight. Because you have to think about game balance and such, too. And the thing is, as well, for every game like that, where that submarine just harasses me the entire time, and it feels like I'm doing literally nothing to him the entire time, how many games are there where the submarine just gets spotted and gets nuked instantly? Probably 10. Probably like a 10-to-1 ratio. So, that's the issue. Hergama line, Joey, it is the cheapest line to reset. So keep that in mind with upcoming events. And see, they used to run events where, like, the conversion cost was cheaper. But they haven't done one of those in a long time. 3.2 million doubloons. Yeah, I have a mortgage now. And, yeah, no. Nope. Not gonna do that. That looks good, actually. Oh, aimed a little bit higher, it would have been better. Oh, for old time's sake, there's a Thunder on the other side, who just set a double fire on me. Beautiful. Ooh. It's not the cheap. Are you sure it's not the cheapest? I'm pretty sure it's the cheapest. Haha, Citadel the Thunderer. Bruh, what are in their HE shells? Mine do not work like that. I don't think she would, Law. I really don't think she would. If you think that's okay, you can join the Patreon to help pay for my divorce lawyer. Well, what I normally do when I do my Research Bureau points is that Japanese second destroyer line. That's the Hergama line. That's what I was talking about. Was I not saying the Hugamo line? It is the cheapest, but that's not my question. What was your question, Joey? Please don't hit this island. Botting. We love it. Oh, favorite line to regrind just for fun. I've never regrinded a line just for fun. But if I could regrind, okay, so I lied. Actually, I have regrinded one line. Outside of just doing it for the research bureau points. So when I started my second account in order to create T2. That account had nothing on it, and then we did some like experimenting on it with the Santa containers back in the day. But more recently, I did a regrind of the American Battleship line in, I think it was like last year, like 2025, and I think the line held up fairly well. You know, given all the changes that have happened in game since, you know, the American battleships first came out, which was, you know, the beginning of the game, right? North Carolina is still great. Oh, now they work on submarines. Yeah, I think that sub's making it, boys. Oh yeah, he's dead. He's not even, he's like in reverse. Yeah, Colorado, as a new player, Colorado is not a fun grind. It is the rough spot of the line for sure. Now, like, going back and playing it afterwards, it's not that bad because I'm choosing to play it. But, like, you know, having to play it to get through the line, that's a little different experience, right? So I'm going to see if GK can fit through here. And we're... Oh, no. Stephen has this Hydroid. So the plan was to let the Schlieffen slink on by and then go after the Thunderer. Come on, there we go. Please be angled enough. Okay, we were somewhat angled. Come on, Siegfried, get in here. Ooh, that was glorious, though. That was a glorious death. Siegfried, you were meant to get in there earlier when I had his undivided attention. I mean, you can still probably take him. Honestly, if he plays it right, he can do a nice drive-by with his torps. Ooh, tried him with the HU and the torps. That didn't work. Okay, okay. I think Siggy's got this. Alright, alright. Launch the torps. There we go. There we go. That's a dead thunder. Nicely done. Nicely done to Siegfried. A little bit sooner. Would have appreciated, but hey, he got the job done. Alright, that was fun. That's why we still played GK in the big 2026. Alright. What do you guys want to see? You guys want to see more Affrontatore? Or what? Open to suggestions now. I'll give you guys a second to decide what we should do. Hell Hydra? Mikasa. Alright, Mikasa is your casa. Why not? You could have been like a second faster with that, Nemesis, that I won't have to play the Mikasa. Oh, you can't forget, gotta get the HP flag going. And the good thing is you don't have to wait in matchmaking for forever with the Mikasa anymore because it populates lower tier with bots now. But it's been doing that. But you know, like 5 years ago, you would just sit in matchmaking for forever until someone else with the Mikasa got in. I mean, we still might be here for a second. I guess we shall see. Alright. This is a pre-dreadnought. You can still see it to this day in Japan, which I would not mind going see. The Kitakami, that thing is also in the event. That's the big banana at the end if you give Wargaming enough of your resources. We'll give this another minute. If we don't get a match, we'll leave. I just don't want to, spend, several minutes of stream sitting here waiting for a match. I'm surprised it's been this long. Normally it just goes, okay, and then throws everything together. Well, no, I didn't think it'd be this bad, Zilla, because, like I said, it populates the matches with bots now. So I figured after, 2 minutes, it'd just be like, all right, here you go. guess it's really searching for some players. If you can teleport to any museum ship, what would it be? Ooh, that's a good question, Joey. If I could teleport to any museum ship, what would it be? Dang. Oh, that's so... That's a good question. That's a really good one. Maybe like... Hey, there we go. The, what is it down in Australia? The vampire? Because when I get to see the vampire too, I get to go to Australia. That's pretty, pretty good. Yeah, it'd be like that, or maybe like the Belfast. Oh, thanks, Dave. Is the Fontenoy worth it for the resources, or would it just be good to just to wait? Because it's going to get nerfed. There's no way they're going to let it survive in its current state. Yeah, not a lot of people play below like tier 5. Even tier 5 is hit or miss at certain hours of the day. But I mean, like, if you play, if you grind through a tech tree, it's nothing to go from tier, you know, tier 1 or tier 2, wherever your particular line starts at, and you're normally at tier 5 pretty fast. So you're going to not have a lot of players chilling around here, which is unfortunate because there are some pretty fun low tier ships, especially at tier 5. There's a lot of fun tier 5 ships. Buy any Lego and or model with paint, what would you get? So for the Lego, ooh. So there's some stuff coming out this year. I know next year's the big year for Lego Star Wars because it's the, you know, the anniversary of Star Wars. It's what, the 60th anniversary or the 70th anniversary? It's 1977 to 2027. That 50? Is that 50 years? Math. Yeah, 50 years. So next year's the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. So I know next year's going to be a big year for Lego Star Wars. Like, supposedly, they're releasing a UCS Superstar Destroyer in October of this year. That thing's apparently awesome. It's huge. I want it. Where would I put it? I don't know. Probably where the Enterprise is at. Where the Enterprise go? I don't know. But I would want that. But then there's some really good stuff coming out as well. Apparently there's like a Star Wars movie theater. And there's like a film set from A New Hope being filmed. And there's like a George Lucas minifigure. I want that too. That's, no, not the current Death Star. Maybe like one of the older Death Stars, yeah. There we go, secondary guns. But yeah, probably that UCS Superstar Destroyer that's coming out. I just gotta convince my wife to let us use our Lego points on it. Because we have like $60 in Lego rewards right now. And I want to buy the Jango Fett Slave 1 for Christmas this year. That'll be another good injection to our Lego reward points. And probably a couple of those ones that are going to be being released at the beginning of 2027. It'll be like $100 off the UCS Star Destroyer. While also, I think you can. Do you earn points when you buy something with points? I think so. Yeah, I finally relented to the Mikasa fanboys that we were playing Mikasa. Is it any good? Yeah, I mean, it's a nice, fun historical ship, I think. Only tier 2 battleship still. There we go, boys, close quarters. Yeah, I have the 2006 X-Wing up there. I'll adjust the camera here, like here. There it is up there. That's the one that came with like Luke, Leia, Han, Wedge, C-3PO, and R2. The Mikasa? I don't know if the Mikasa is available right now. No! Oh my God, my God. Drago's Thule, a $50 super chat. Sir, thank you. Whatever ship you want to see me play next, I will play it. Thank you, sir. That's awesome. I really appreciate that, dude. Oh yeah, like this is all stuff from when I was a kid, when I was growing up. As Worf said, he would have had honor for replacing the Enterprise. Well, see, I think I would put I have another one of these wooden shelves. I would probably cut it and put it like right here, so the Enterprise still be in the background. You know, somewhat keeping with the naval name. You still have the Dookie Yorkie. You still have the Yamato back there. Oh, Joey, don't do that to me. It is painful, Lift, how accurate that comment is. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is so painful. You know, like 3 years ago, that would have been like a good joke. Oh, you know, gas like $2, right? Or like, you know, $1 something a gallon. That's half a gas tank. That is so accurate right now, unfortunately. Well, actually hit him. Better watch out, Jackson. Our secondary guns are coming into range. That's right, overpins. Hi, PAS. How's it going? From the UK fuel prices. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to having to commute again here in a couple of weeks. Dude, yeah, Nemesis. Yeah, I remember when they stopped at $100. When I was in like elementary, our parents bought a used RV. And it was an RV from like I think like 90s. This is like, you know, 2003, 2004. And they're like, yeah, you know, hurricanes and stuff. We have an RV. We can just load everyone up in it and drive off. And, you know, it's great. It's got a generator. We can park it in a Walmart parking lot and have power. When we come back home, you know, we can hook stuff up to the generator at the house. You know, we can stuff like the TV and run like a window unit and stuff. And I remember, you know, not long after we got it, we started, you know, taking it to like camp, national parks and stuff and campgrounds. And yeah, my dad would have to, when it was a gas RV, right? So like the gas pumps used to stop at $100. I don't think the diesel pumps did even back then. But yeah, so it would stop at $100. So he would have to, you know, fill it up as much as the $100 would give him. And then we'd have to, you know, put the nozzle back in, wait for the gas pump to clear the transaction, and then put another $100 worth of gas in it. But yeah. That you just unlock the core memory. I mean, we got a lot of usage out of it too. I mean, he bought it like 2003, 2004. And then next year was Katrina, so worked out pretty well. And that's pretty, cool, because, like, I'm like a elementary kid, and I have my PlayStation 2 in there with a TV sitting in the back, so my dad's driving down the road playing Burnout 2, right? Or Battlefront 2. While we're stuck in traffic, and the bathroom's right there too. It was really nice, not gonna lie. And I thought about, well, because we want to get a trailer, because Terry and I, my wife, we like going to the national parks and stuff. And we're leaning more towards like a camper trailer, but then I just remember, like, I can just like stop and just like take a dump on the side of the highway without ever seeing the inside of a public bathroom, Like that is king level stuff right there, But with a trailer, you have your truck, so you can drop the trailer, then go drive the truck around and stuff. You don't have to take the RV everywhere, right? Because once you like hook up the RV, you're kind of stuck. Unless you have someone following you in a car or you're towing a car. And you either have to like get your car set up for towing, or have to buy a trailer to tow your car with the RV, That's glamping. Look, man, when you're running from a hurricane, I don't care what you call it. It was nice, And when you come back home before the power company's got the power back on, you can all go sleep in the RV and sleep in AC. Or you can go just chill in the RV during the day and chill in the AC. Oh, there we go. Simden is a real player. Dude, our bot, Freon, has 4 kills. Oh yeah, no, so Danetree, I have so I had a 2018 Silverado 1500 that was 2-wheel drive with a 5.3 liter V8. Had to replace the transmission, had to have the engine pan resealed, and then the engine decided that it was done with existing. So traded that in, and I have a 2025 Silverado 1500 4-wheel drive with a 6.2 crew cab, got the trailer brakes, has a trailering package and all that jazz. So I bought that because we wanted to get a trailer, and as much as like a an RV would be nice. Again, I think having the truck as a normal vehicle you can drive after dropping the trailer somewhere is pretty good. So we're going with that option. Let's see if we can find this Emden. We have some time to talk because it's going to take me a few minutes to get within range of this Emden. Any car or firearm you can get, no barriers. The car would be, and this is going to sound stupid. It'd be like a DeLorean with some type of LS engine in it, because I think that car looks really cool, but like the engine that's actually in it is actually trash. So like a DeLorean with like, an LS3 with a 6-speed, and then, or like a ZL1 Camaro. And firearm, no limit, probably like a Barrett M82A1 50 cal, because it's such a ridiculous gun, I've got pretty much everything else that I like really wanted. I have the Scar, which played a lot of Battlefield, and I bought that a few years ago. So have an FAL, have the G3. Oh, I may get like an actual G3, something made by H&K, or a lot closer than the G3 clone that I have, something like that. That's why I gotta go up to Fraser Island still once or twice with the boys weekend, and we can all get together and hit the beach. Yeah. So that's the plan. We're both teachers, so eventually the plan is during the summer we want to get a trailer and be able to go to the national parks and stuff. And obviously we want to have kids, so it's nice you can have the kids and you can all go to know, the parks and stuff or wherever. The bungo itself is worth the grind. The other two are kind of lackluster in my opinion. But yeah, the bungo's pretty good. The you know, spotter plane with the buff to your dispersions is really, really nice. Spare the card, you know, I had my SS Camaro. That was pretty fun. You know, people are like, well, supercharge that. Look, that LS3 with a 6-speed manual transmission, that was a really fun car. I unfortunately had to sell it. You know, it's got kind of like 400 something horsepower. I think like 420, 430 horsepower. And it was really fun to drive, you know. It's like, yeah, supercharger would be faster and stuff, but I mean, like, for something I was driving like on the weekends and stuff and just going cruising, it was, you know, manual transmission makes, you know, anything feel like it's got a lot of power. And I mean, 400 something horsepower is a lot of power, you know, especially in a car, you know. You get like SUVs and stuff like 500, 600 horsepower, but it's stuck in an SUV, right? But in an actual like car, that's a lot, and it was fast. And I miss it dearly. Not a day goes by that I don't think about it. What subject do I teach? Actually, so I am a licensed social studies. We'll play the Yami because other guy asked for it. Bro just snuck Mikasa in there before I could read Yami. So I'm a licensed JDM. Yeah, you know, like, I'm not a big JDM guy. I like American muscle cars, Camaros. So I was raised in a Chevrolet family. Down here in the southern United States, it's kind of like Game of Thrones. You have the different houses and stuff, right? So my house was a Chevy Toyota house. Then you have like the this is generally how it mixes. I don't know like how this is determined, but I swear to God, this tracks. You have Chevy and Toyota houses, or like GM and Toyota houses, and then you have Ford and Honda houses, and then you have Dodge / Chrysler and Nissan houses. That's the mix. And if you go drive by anybody's house, at least down here in South Louisiana, that's the combination you're going to get. Toyota and GM / Chevy, Honda and Ford, and then Chrysler and Nissan. So that's how it mixes up down here. She plays pretty fun. From what I haven't played a lot of her, not gonna lie, but she's a pretty fun ship. Had a 77 Camaro, sold it to pay for my first honeymoon. Should have kept the car and sold the X. My dad had a Camaro too. He had a 70s Camaro. That was that second body style, right? With like it was more like swoopy. You had the four square. You know, they changed from the you know the first gen body style. Mid European, it's pretty mind-boggling. US mainly has automatic transmissions. Yeah, so I learned to drive on a manual truck. I still have it. My first truck was a 1968 C10. Smoking the Bandit. Thank you, Dave. That's what I was thinking. So the truck that I learned to drive, and I drove to high school, was a 68 C10, 320 or 327 V8. We don't, or, sorry, 307 or 327. I'm not 100% sure what size the engine is because all the parts are the same, right? So that truck is what I drove to high school. No air conditioning, no power steering, no power brakes, manual transmission, 3-speed on the column. That's what I learned to drive in. But yeah, everyone else, it's an automatic. And like people would get in my truck because like, oh look, it's cool, nice little truck. They'd get it and they would see the clutch pedal, and they would just stare like they're seeing something that their mind can't comprehend, right? Yeah, PSA, that's the, like I said, you know, I was raised in a Chevy household, and if I were to buy a Ford, I would be disowned. Hey Zarkoon, how's it going? Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I could leave the truck unlocked and no one's going to drive away with it. They'll probably crash because there's no power steering. That too. But yeah, and I just like the way, like, I mean, I'm not going to lie, for like just something I drive to get from point A to point B, automatic is nice. Because, you know, like, we would take the Camaro, like, we took the Camaro, me and my wife, we weren't married yet, but, like, for our for our anniversary, our 5th anniversary of us dating, we drove over to Lambert's in Alabama, and we got stuck in mobile traffic by the tunnel. I'm not gonna lie, driving the Camaro, stick shift, 6-speed, and stop and go traffic, that kind of sucked, right? Yeah, Lambert, like they throw the biscuits at you, Lamberts, yeah. Yeah, that sucked. Driving it through that did indeed suck. But, like, you know, on the highway or when you're just going, ooh, good hit to the Tempestinera. It's not that bad. Yeah, I saw that Stellantis, they're throwing gas engines and their Chargers again, or Challengers, whichever one they electrified. And Chevy's already confirmed that the 7th gen Camaro is going to be a V8 gas-powered car. So, rejoice. Whoa! Citadel up the stern. That's that stat back there. That's what I got. Now, I'll give Ford the fact that they held true, you know. As of right now, you know, the only place you can go and buy a new, you know, V8 muscle car, oof, ouch, is to go to a Ford dealership. So I'll give them that as a Chevy fanboy. I'm glad Chevy just, you know, killed the Camaro instead of making it electric. You know? And they're bringing it back as a proper muscle car. I'm going to die here because I was talking to you guys and I way overextended. Oh yeah, like in the USPAS, I would like to see the Iowa, the New Jersey, obviously, ooh, come on, that looks good. That was too high. All right, I would obviously like to make it to all of them. But I have this East Coast trip planned out and everything to, you know, just go hit all those museum ships on the East Coast. So, you know, like New Jersey, Massachusetts, what's up there? The Sullivans, Cassian Young, What's Still Spotting Me, the Submarine. Bruh. Okay. We're gonna run that back. And I'm going to be a little bit more restrained. Legendary mod sinker. New Camaro might be 4-door. So I've seen two things. I've seen an article where it's like GM's confirmed, or like it's been confirmed somewhere that it's a 2-door V8. It's going to share the same platform as the Cadillac. What's Cadillac's thing that they put the 6.2 in with the supercharger? Whatever that is, and that's a 2-door car. Which makes sense because the 5th gen Camaros shared, I forget what the platform is called. Yes, Arku, New Jersey is coming to the game this year, in a few months, actually. But, because I remember when I was buying parts for the Camaro, for my Camaro, which is a 5th gen, like, the brakes, the rotors, a lot of the suspension and stuff, it's the same as Cadillac's performance cars. C5, thank you, Nemesis. So it's going to share the same platform as the C5. Yeah, so it's going to be a 2-doors from what I said, but I've also from what I've said, from what I've seen, I've also seen some say they're going to have a 2-door and a 4-door option, because they have the Cadillac cars with the 2 doors and the 4 doors as well. So that's what I've heard, and that's what I've read. I could see them making it a 4-door because that's a lot easier to sell. But I mean, like, for purebred Camaro, like, you want a 2-door car. And with the 5th gens, like, the back seat was definitely usable. I wouldn't want to take a long road trip back there. But you can fit 4 people in a 5th gen Camaro pretty easily. Now, I heard the 6th gens interiors are much more cramped and smaller. But I like the 5th gens anyway because they look like the older Camaros. Like, the inside, too, you can tell it's got, like, a lot of that, they took pages out of the original Camaro's interior design and such. I forget that, like, other places you have to get, like, a manual license or you can get an automatic license. That's interesting. In the United States, once you get a driver's license, you're pretty much good to go. Some places, like if you want a motorcycle, you might need a motorcycle endorsement. Obviously, like a CD. So CDLs here in the United States are pretty interesting. It's like I can go buy like an RV, a massive RV, and not need a CDL because it's a recreational vehicle. But if you're driving like a truck, towing something of that same size, you would need a CDL. I think in some states too, like you can go buy like an actual like semi truck, but if you're just using it for like personal usage, you don't need a CDL or anything. It's pretty interesting, right? Like, with all the different states here and stuff. Oh, a little bit higher. That would have been beautiful. Yeah, I think that was everyone's fear with the upcoming 7th gen Camaros, that they were just going to make it an electric SUV and slap the Camaro nameplate on it. GM's fairly protective. I'm gonna eat these stores of their names, thankfully. Oh, there we go, boys. Beautiful. A little bit too protective, especially the Corvette. They are so protective of the Corvette name, which is what held the Camaro back, because they don't want the Camaro to be faster than the Corvette. Oh, good juke, Tejong. Good juke, Tejong. And so back when I was working at a grocery store to pay my way through college, one of the things they started trusting me to do when I was like 17 was go do deliveries. And we would do deliveries mostly to like ships. Down here in South Louisiana, we have a lot of ships coming in from offshore. They'd come in and get their groceries for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then go offshore and do whatever they have to do. So they come in and we have like like a $10,000 or $12,000 grocery order, and we'd have to go have it delivered. The one time, and every now and then some rich person would do a grocery order from the store because they're going down to like Mexico or something for the Baja 500, or just going vacation in Baja, California. And this dude, I delivered his groceries. It's like a $6,000 grocery order. He had a pull-behind trailer that like was designed to connect to a semi-truck, and he had a semi-truck with the trailer, and it was like painted like like an RV paint and stuff. Like it wasn't just like it looked like a commercial semi-truck. And I was like, oh, don't you need like a license or something? They said, nope, it's an RV. I can drive it with my normal license. I'm like, what? Dang. It's crazy. 4-ton truck license, that doesn't exist. As far as like trucks go, until you literally get to like commercially operating a semi-truck, at least in Louisiana, I can drive my Silverado, my 1500. I could drive, you know, anything up, really anything until I start towing, you know, like a 52-foot trailer. I think like 75 feet's the overall, or like 65 feet might be the overall length limitation. Then that you need a CDL for. You know, I can go drive a 3500, 4500, 5500 with just my normal driver's license. I did for that grocery store. I was going to ships with in a big old box truck, delivering their groceries. Like, I don't know if you have, like, Enterprise or whatever over there. Like, you can rent those big moving trucks. We had a huge box truck. I think it was, like, the biggest, like, enclosed box truck you could get. And that's what I would go drive to make these deliveries as a 17-year-old, right? And that, I don't know how you didn't need a CDL for that. Because it's like, I'm literally going to drive this big old box truck to deliver groceries, or this is a commercial endeavor. But they're like, oh no, you don't need a license, a special license. Go deliver. Get pulled over, let us know. Okay. You best believe I 10 and 2 that bad boy every time I drove it. Went like 5 under the speed limit. Probably why they wanted me to do it, because I was like one of the few that wouldn't drive it like a maniac. Boom. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I was just an employee. I'm like, whatever, you know. I was 17. It got me out the store for like 3 hours too, so I didn't really care, you know. It's under 11,000 pounds. You don't need a CL for a pack. Well, yeah, it was just a bunch of groceries. Like I was, you know, hauling, you know, pipeline or whatever in the back of it. No, this is the store. The store owned this box truck that they were having me go deliver groceries in. Oh, Dave knows. No, it was not. The AC kind of worked, which was pretty nice. And usually it was just like 20 minutes down the road to the local docks, you know. Ooh, I got Shikishima. The first place I drove was like hour and a half round trip. The time, ouch. The time really came, the longest part was just getting them to unload it because, you know, I couldn't go on the boats because I don't have the tree got struck. I didn't have the, was it like the tips card or whatever? The safety card you needed to like work offshore. I didn't have that, so most times I wasn't allowed to go on the boat. Every now and then, the guy would come out and he'd be like, all right, just, you know, bring it inside and put it here in the galley or here in the fridge, in the walk-in freezer. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to, all right, sure, whatever. Yeah, but a lot of times I just sat there and waited for someone to come get the groceries. But yeah, it was beautiful. Eat up several hours of my shift. I didn't have to deal with the public. Man, I could go on a whole tangent of working in a friggin' supermarket in the public. Stories I got from there. 7 years. 7 years working at the supermarket. Not 7, 6 years. 6 years. 2 years in 2 years in high school, 4 years in college. And let me tell you, old people, like, old people are some of the worst. I'm not saying all old people are like this, but oh my god. They were definitely annoying, to put it politely. Dude, like, because the store would open up at 7 in the morning, and we would have you know, staff would get there a little bit earlier, right? Like 6:30, right? Or 6, just depending upon what day it was, to get the store ready to open. And you'd have like these old people outside at 6:40, like standing. Zarkun knows. Fantastic World of Warships Legends content creator. You should definitely go check him out for all the Legend stuff. But yeah, you know, like 6:40 in the morning, they would start beating on the doors and stuff for us to let them in. And it's like, no, we can't do that because the store opens at 7, you know? Like, some of us are here, but not everybody. I don't have a cashier here. And that was especially... Oh, there we go. I might be dead. Nope. He doesn't. He doth not know the cheeks. Yeah, they couldn't fathom that, like, we didn't open the store until, you know, the clock actually turned 7, right? And, like, it was... You'd walk right by them to let you... For you to go in, because you'd walk to the front door, and, the manager would be there, he'd unlock the sliding door, let you in. And then, like, they would try to walk in behind you. You'd have to go, oh, sorry, we're not open until 7. We don't have any cashiers here or anything like that. And they'd get so pissed off about that. Type of ships were I delivering to? Most of them were offshore supply vessels. So they are... you know what? Let's go on a tangent. They are... There we go. These guys. So, these are offshore supply vessels. These are the ships that go to the rigs. You see they have these big flat back decks, and you can put whatever you want on them. You know, supplies, parts. They have huge tanks in the hulls, too, that, they... will pump them full of mud, pumping mud, drilling mud, and they'll take them out to the rigs, and the rigs will, you know, pump the mud into their tanks, or again, you know, like the supplies and stuff. It's like this. They just kind of chill by the rigs, and whatever the rigs needs, they bring to them, like a really big delivery van, right, for the rigs that are offshore. So it was mostly these, and this is what my dad was a chief engineer, and he was a chief engineer on one of these bad boys for like 40 something years. So that was most of what I delivered to. Every now and then you get something really random. One time it was a Coast Guard cutter. Most of the time when the Coast Guard would come in, they would shop their orders themselves, and then they would take them. But one time they came in, they shopped it, and like, yeah, so we need to get this delivered to yada yada yada. And I was like, first for me. All right. Let's pick the Massachusetts out. Zarkun, one time I was working customer service desk Christmas Eve, and some guy called in and was like, are you open tomorrow? I said, no. He said, why? Christmas? It's like, your generation is lazy. I was like, do you work on Christmas? And then he hung up on me. That's what I'm talking about. You have all these old people come in, and like, if you didn't know something or whatnot, they'd have these sly, snarky comments. Yeah, and it was so annoying. So like one of the things that like superstores would do and like grocery stores will do is that they'll mix up where their items are at every now and then. I can tell you where like there's 3 items, they're always gonna be in the same place. The milk and the eggs and the bread are going to be along the 3 walls of the store. The bread's going to be either in the front left or front right, and the milk's going to be in the back, and the eggs are either going to be in the back right or the back left. That's where the eggs and the milk and the bread are always going to be. The produce is also going to be in the front left or the front right of the store too. Why? Those 3 and 4 things is what everyone needs no matter what. You need milk, you need eggs, you need bread. And you probably need vegetables too. So they are going to spread those things out to where you have to go and meander through the store to get those items. And you're going to see stuff that you didn't know that you wanted to buy, or you didn't even plan on buying, and you will buy them. And this is a tier 10 game. Great. So that's a little bit of psychology. Everything else, every few months, they're going to mix up where it's located at. And that happened where I worked. So there will be months where it was like, okay, they move the soup here, they move the canned fruit here, they move the canned vegetables here, they move the, like the baking stuff here. They would just shuffle things out around every now and then. Some aisles stayed the same, some didn't. So when they would like ask me, like, hey, where's the... It's usually something very obscure, right? Where's like the canned, I don't know, the canned beans, but it wasn't beans, it was something else. I'm like, oh, they're down here on aisle 3. And I go down to aisle 3 and they weren't there. I'm like, okay, let me go ask a manager. And every time they'd be like, huh, how long have you worked here? This is your first week? I'm like, no, I worked here 5 years. They just moved this on me. Like, what's wrong with that, buddy? If I had $5 every time someone said you guys are always changing things, I can't find anything here, then I would be probably able to retire. Amen, Zarkun. Yeah, the power outlet thing too, but you have the power coming in from the ceilings. It's like the little freezer aisles. At least in the US, they do that. Oh, the returns, the re-freaking turns. Oh my god, the returns were great. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes stuff sits on shelves, doesn't get rotated out. So stuff goes bad and it gets sold bad and people will bring it back and like it'd be like a year out of date. We give them a refund or a replacement. But people, ooh, they are so entitled when it comes to returns. They try to get you with stuff too. So in my time at the supermarket, I worked in, I was a bagger, which meant I put nothing in a bag, but I would go get buggies. I would stock the milk, stock the eggs, and stock the water, because those are the things that usually got sold the most. And just generally like keep the store tidy and stuff. Try to, just whatever they needed me to do, I did. I worked in produce for a long time. I did deliveries, and deliveries involved like shopping orders, boxing them up, going deliver them and stuff too. I did pretty much everything except for the meat department and the cash register. So, in like my 5th or 6th year, it's a supermarket, high school kids work at for like 1 or 2 years, then they go. But, my 5th or 6th year there, I've been there for so long. I'll get called up to the front sometimes, and like the girl working the desk, this customer service desk, didn't know exactly what we did or didn't have. Or they would call me to take like a return to the back for us to, get rid of. And the amount of stuff I got called up there for was crazy. Like someone said like this thing of ice cream was bad, but they gave us back a completely empty bucket of ice cream. Like there's no ice cream in it, but it was bad. So you sat there and you ate an entire bucket of bad ice cream. Okay. Produce too. Wild stuff like that would happen. They would bring us back like a quarter of a watermelon and they say, oh yeah, the whole thing was bad. And they just brought back the quarter, not the whole watermelon. It's like, okay, once again, you said the watermelon is bad and we're not getting back a watermelon that we can return to our supplier and be like, hey, look, you guys gave us a bad watermelon. We need a, compensation for this. I was also like, I don't want to say like, kind of the assistant produce manager there for a bit. without the title and pay, basically, right? Um, but yeah, they would return stuff that like they'd already eaten most out of or whatever. And one time, this lady, oh, she got so mad about this. So she came in with a gallon of milk. She said that the milk was expired. But it was freaking Target's milk. So I don't know how it is around the world, but like shops here in the US, you'll have like the name brand stuff, and then you'll have a store brand alternative, okay? And I forget exactly what Target's brand is, but it was that brand of milk. And no, it was a local store down here in Louisiana. And I'll elaborate more on that in a second. But anyway, so like it was Target's brand milk, and she swore up and down that she bought it here. So they called me to the front, and the lady behind the service counter was like, "Do we sell this brand?" And I looked at it, and I turned it around. I'm like, it was like something Farms. I'm like, no. We had Borden's brand, which that's like a Louisiana dairy farm. We had Borden's. We had another Louisiana farm called Kleinpeter, and then we had the store brand milk. And then I turned it around, and I saw the Target logo on the back. I'm like, oh, this is Target's milk. Like, it said at the bottom, like, yada, 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 you know, Target Corporation Incorporated, whatever, for, like, the copyright stuff. And the lady behind the desk took the scan gun, and she tried to scan the barcode, but it didn't come up with anything because it's not our brand milk. And she was like, yeah, like, we literally could not have sold you this because it's not in our system. And that lady went off, and she was so pissy about it. I'm like, we can't take it back because it's not ours. You know, it's not in our inventory. We can't return it to our supplier because this isn't our milk. Oh my god. So anyway, like the store I worked at was like a local. There's a few other ones, but it's like a family-owned small chain. And it was part of what's known as the Associated Wholesale Grocers Network, which is basically if you own a small grocery store and you want like off-brand items to fill up your store, you get with them and they supply you with off-brand items. So you can go into like these smaller stores that are local, but they'll have like a certain brand that Associated Wholesale Grocers sell called Great Value. Not Great Value, Best Choice. So it was like Best Choice milk and stuff. Best Choice and Always Save. Those are the two brands that AWG we would buy from them. Yeah, Target in the States has a very small food section, but they do have like milk and like the basics, right? So yeah, a lot of that happened. A lot of people trying to be dumb. And they would try to get like, I thought it was like a joke, you know, you try to get like a discount for like a dented can of like condensed milk. People would try that, yeah. It's like, it's a liquid. It conforms to the container. Like your condensed milk is not going to be bruised, madame, you know? Well, Drago, I know, so, like, the store I was at was a smaller branch, and the big branch, like, they had, like, 18-wheelers and stuff, and they would, do boat orders out to, like, Texas and such for their boat orders. So, I don't know. It wasn't an Enterprise truck, it was just a plain white box truck, and, to my knowledge, like, the store owned it. Could have been rented, yeah. If someone told me today that it was rented, in fact, I'd believe them. I just assumed the store owned it. Does your cheese look so orange? Well, the American cheese, like, isn't really cheese, from my knowledge. So you have American cheese that's yellow, and then you have American cheese that's white. The white American cheese to me is a little less sus because it's not dyed orange, you know? Fresh pre-made salad mix packaged in bags and had a live frog in one. Dude, so like when I was in produce, one of the things we would do is we would make like fruit cups and stuff. So we would make like it came with this package from who does it? The Yoplait yogurt. It was a big brown box and it had this giant plastic bag of like Yoplait vanilla yogurt, okay? So you'd squirt that into a clear plastic cup, and then you would put like grapes, kiwis, strawberries, in the yogurt, and then you would put there's a little plastic cup on top. You would put like granola in, close it, put a sticker on it, and you go put it on the shelf. And those are pretty popular. You wouldn't put bananas in them, though. One guy put bananas in it, got chewed out because bananas go bad pretty quickly. And I'd make like 6 of those a morning or something like that. And that's Jordan. Thank you for the resub, my guy. And that is those are pretty popular. Dude, I can cut some fruit. Let me tell y'all. I can cut and wrap fruit with the best of the best. Put me on Beat Bobby Flay. Bobby Flay has nothing on my fruit packaging skills. I could cut watermelons in half, quarters. I could wrap them so tight that through the plastic, you could see the texture of the watermelon. Yeah. That I can do. I was a customer service manager at the store I worked at. I got away with a lot of stuff as far as pushing back in customers that were being unreasonable. That's the good thing about us being like a smaller family chain store. Not like Walmart or anything where like you just kind of got to do what the customer says. Many times our managers did push back, and we toward the end of my stint had a really good set of managers there that were good at handling the customers and such. Like, if it's like a legitimate thing, like, yeah, it would get fixed. You know, if you bought something and it was bad or defective, you got a replacement or you got a refund. But, yeah, they're very good at backing up the employees and stuff. You know, you had some come, some go that weren't so great. Oh, man. The coworkers, too. Oh, my God, the coworkers. I worked 45 hours over a weekend once. Oh boy, this was great. So the way that the schedule worked during the summer for like the part-time people is that on like busier days like 4th of July weekend, on like the Friday you'd have 6 to 2, 2 to 10. Dave, thank you for oh, it wasn't Dave, it was Jorn. Jordan, thank you for the gifts, my guy. So like Friday, you'd have 6 to 2, 2 to 10, and basically, you know, 2 8-hour shifts, cut up. No, that's the time that the store is open, right? And then you'd have the same on the Saturday and the Sunday. So I was scheduled to do 6 to 2 on Friday, 6 to 2 on Saturday, and then 6 to 2 on Sunday. I like that because I got to get up, go to work, get off at 2, have the rest of the day available to me, right? And I was doing during YouTube during this time too. But had this dude that he called in Friday for the 2 to 10. So the manager comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, such and such called in. Could you do the 2 to 10 as well? No one else can come in." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I'll get another 8 hours out of it. That's another, doubling my paycheck for the day. summer, not doing anything right. And plus, that manager was closing. I really like that manager. Me and him, we still keep in touch today. Great dude. So, but cool. You know, I'll stick around till 10 o'clock tonight. Plus, I get to close the door to close the store tonight, and that means in the morning, I know everything's done. Everything's done right. Store's gonna be mopped right. Everything's gonna be put up right, and all that jazz. So, I'm like, cool, whatever. So that happens. Saturday comes around. I get home at like 10:30. Go straight to bed. Wake up for my next 6 to 2 shift. Bro was scheduled to work 2 to 10 again. Yeah, I didn't get to do much that game. Bro was scheduled to work 2 to 10 that day too. Guess what happened? Bro called in again. 4th of July weekend. Everyone's got plans and stuff. I didn't because I was working. So I worked 6 to 10 again. Guys aren't gonna believe what happened on the Sunday. Scheduled 6 to 2 again. Bro called in again. So, yeah, I worked 6 to 10, 6 in the morning, 10 o'clock at night for 3 days in a row. Yeah. I could only work like one day the next week because if I worked anymore, it was going to be like full-time work. And I was going to, I was going to have to get like insurance and stuff for how many hours I working. They did. They let him go after that. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I got paid. I got paid. You know, when you're working, you know, when you pick up a shift, you get paid. You know, it was back in friggin' 2016. So I mean, I'm being paid $7.50 an hour. So $7.50 times 15. Let's see. We got paid every week there too. That was nice. Having just a constant income. So $7.50 times 45. Yeah, $337. $337 in a weekend, you know, to dude in college. It's pretty good. Did I get triple time? No. That's why I could only work one day the next week. Because I had, you know, week ends on Saturday and goes into Sunday. Sunday starts the new week. So I worked that Sunday and then I worked like the Friday. So the store I worked for wouldn't have let that guy go. Oh yeah, no, they were like, bro, you called in 3 days in a row. Like that's not okay. Oh no, on the Sunday he didn't even call in. He just didn't show up. He did not show up. So like I was waiting for him to show up before I left, you know. Because, you know, generally, you know, you sit there, you wait for your relief to show up so you can go. And it was like 2:40 and bro didn't show up yet. And that's when the manager came back again and he was like, hey, like, I do it a 3rd day in a row. And I was like, okay. They didn't mind me getting the hours because they liked me because I showed up for work and I did what I was supposed to do. You know. So I was well liked at that place of employment. But anyway, guys, that is just over the 3-hour mark. Thank you for letting me ramble on with the grocery store tangents. They probably ignored him and then chewed me out for calling him the flu. Ah, no. Yeah. Thankfully, you know, I didn't call him that much. So when I did actually call him and I was sick, they, you know, it was alright. But yeah, so yeah. Once again, hopefully, I'm hoping to be back on a normal streaming schedule. I don't have anything crazy going on, especially with school starting back up soon. I should be back into a pretty regular schedule. I'm sorry I haven't been able to stream as much as I would like to this summer. Again, life has been happening a lot. You know, I'm 30 now. I turned 30 last month. I'm an old man now. So yeah, that's fun. You know, owning a house, having to cut grass, property taxes, and all that jazz. I'm an actual adult now, right? So yeah. Half my age. Oh, Dave, no, don't out yourself like that. Yeah, I'm a teacher. So yeah, we're going back here in a couple of weeks. So yeah, I got a couple weeks left of my summer vacation. Then back at it, boys. Yep. So thank you, Zarkun. Thank you everyone for coming out. Hope you guys have a great weekend. DH, sorry, man. But yeah, hope you guys have a great weekend and hope to catch you guys in the next one.